What's up guys, and welcome back to another Friday Flicks. For those of you who don't know, my name's Nathan Miles. I'm a London-based photographer and I'm here today to tell you 6 things I wish I knew before I started photography. Photography and videography, it can seem quite complicated. And when you first start out, to be honest with you, it is. There's so much to learn. There's so many different facets of photography and videography you can go down. It's a bit of a rabbit hole. So what I'm here today to do is hopefully guide you in the right direction and keep you focused on what's important. So here are my 6 things I wish I knew about photography before I started. Starting with number 1, which is don't compare yourself to others. Now it's very easy when you first start photography to get bogged down by how good everyone is, and I look around now and I think, oh my god, this photographer, this videographer is amazing, I'm never going to be that good. But to be honest with you, if you look at things like that, you'll never achieve anything in life. So the way I look at it is, it's part of the fun and you've got to enjoy the journey, because if you don't enjoy the journey, what's the point of doing it? So don't compare yourself to others and create your own style. Number 2, and it is quite an important one, is editing, and it's subtle editing to be precise. When you first start, we all get a bit excited with the contrast, clarity, dehaze sliders, and we whack them all the way to the right. Now I don't recommend this, so keep those sliders under control and it'll be a much better editing process. With editing, I think the mantra less is more sometimes is key. Number 3, make sure that you are experimenting. When you first start photography, you'll have an idea of what sort of things you want to shoot. It might be flowers, it might be street photography, it might be mountains, it could be lifestyle and travel photography. What I would say is don't rule anything out, try it all. Try landscape, try lifestyle, try street photography, see what sort of floats your boat and go from there. When I first started out, I was very much down the landscape and that sort of side of things, but I found it much more interesting shooting street photography, and that's where you'll find me now most, on the streets, capturing people, capturing the stories of everyday life. Number 4 is aperture priority. And what do I mean by aperture priority? Well, it's a bit of a stopgap. So we start at auto, that's what most people do when they pick up a camera, and then as quickly as you can, you try and go into manual. But don't rush because you don't need to. Aperture priority is brilliant, and to be honest with you, it's how I shoot 90% of my stuff. Aperture priority allows us to pick a certain aperture level and the camera will work out exactly how much exposure we need, which will allow us to get almost perfectly exposed shots every single time. Now there is always a time and a place for manual. I do use manual quite a lot as well, but in between, learn how to use aperture priority and it will be much better for your photography long term. Number 5 is an ND filter and the importance of using them. Now you're not always going to need an ND filter, but what an ND filter does is it's basically like wearing sunglasses on your camera. It will help diffuse the light, it will help create a better dynamic range, and for some photos it's essential. And what is really important about it is if you're taking video or shooting video, you need to match the shutter speed to your frame rate and you need that exposure to be of a certain level. Then by adjusting the variable ND, we can achieve the perfect exposure, which will help us create better video. Number 6, and definitely last but not least, is enjoy yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story to sort of emphasise this point, because it's actually probably the most important point. 6 years ago, I went to Iceland, armed with my brand new Canon 760D, little crop sensor, beautiful thing, tiny, but loved it, absolutely loved it. It changed my life actually, so I have fond memories of this camera, but I don't have fond memories of this holiday, because I went there to Iceland, the most beautiful country you'll ever probably go to, and I decided that instead of enjoying the moment and enjoying being with amazing people in an amazing country, I'd spend my time looking at the back of this screen because I was so obsessed with getting the right or the perfect photos. And once I'd photographed the waterfalls or the black sand beach, I'd get in the van or the bus or the car, whatever it was, and I'd be straight onto my phone, moving the photos from my camera to my phone to try and edit them. And I spent 7 days in Iceland, and 90% of that was looking at a screen. And the best advice I can give you as a amateur photographer or a new photographer is enjoy the moment, enjoy the people you're with, enjoy the surroundings, take your photos of course, but maybe just edit them when you get home. And that is about it, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope that helped you out. If it did, let me know in the comments which point helped you out the most. If you've got any questions, please ask, because I'm more than happy to help. That's the whole point of this channel, is me essentially helping people out and getting better at photography and videography myself. If you did enjoy the video, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and if you really enjoyed it, make sure you turn those notifications on. Until the next one, peace.